So here's the thing, we need some practical advice, and so Crystal Higgins is here to talk to us, a registered dietitian. A lot of people saying they're salivating, seeing this huge screen of bacon. What do you say to your clients who come in the door, and especially after this this review, and say, should I even be eating this stuff?
Well, I think it's all relative, and I think it's a wake-up call for a lot of people, not just for bacon, but other processed meats, things that are seemingly less harmful, even things like roasted deli, chicken, turkey, things like that. A processed meat refers to anything that's been cured, salted, fermented, so it includes a wide variety of different products, and I think it's all about moderation, to be honest.
So even with the processed food, even with the bacon filled with all the things it may have, you still feel there's room for it, but you just have, and what does moderation look like?
So what does that mean? So these studies evaluated quantities of 50 grams. To put that into perspective for you, 50 grams is actually less than a palm size. So bacon, 2 strips of bacon, and that increased your risk of cancer by about 18%. So how often can we do that? I mean, I'd say no more than once or twice a week. But, you know, if it's something that you really enjoy, save it for a special occasion.
How often do you eat bacon?
Don't ask me what I had on Sunday morning. No, once in a while, of course. 80-20, right? That's what it's all about.
Okay, so the processed meats were deemed to be cancer-causing.
That's correct.
Red meats, beef and other red meats were not at that level, but may contribute, depending on the person, to increased risk of cancer. And so what's your advice when it comes to steaks, which seem a lot less problematic, I think, to a lot of people than highly processed meat?
Agreed. My recommendation there would be to include a wide variety of different protein sources. So red meat occasionally, but also things like fish, which we know is very healthy, poultry, and what I really encourage is more plant-based proteins. So things like beans, lentils, nuts, seeds. We're here on a Monday, and a movement that's happening right now is Meatless Monday. So I encourage a meatless meal at least once a week, and that's one of the best things that you can do to prevent cancer.
If we were doing this interview 20 years ago, you wouldn't know this, but trust me, people would just turn off their TVs in disgust.
Yeah,
it was, you know,
forget it.
But today, particularly I would think in Vancouver, I feel like this isn't that hard to sell.
Not at all. And I can tell you from my personal experience, there seems to be a downward trend in red meat consumption overall. It seems to be somewhat common knowledge that steaks and processed meats are maybe not the healthiest for us, and moderation is truly the key. And I mean, organizations like Dietitians of Canada, the World Cancer Fund, I mean, we've been recommending, you know, to limit processed meat and red meat for a number of years, not only due to the risk of cancer, but also to the high sodium levels in some of these foods too. So. And
with everything, and I think particularly when I think steaks, it's a food that we're really, our culture is about big steaks, not just steaks, but massive steaks.
Yes.
Serving size, I think, would surprise a lot of people, and what's the rule of thumb there?
Oh, absolutely, and I completely agree. If you go to a restaurant, the average steak is 8 to 10 ounces. What we're recommending as a serving size is actually the palm of your hand or a deck of cards, which is about 3 ounces. I know maybe it may not be realistic for all individuals to have such a small serving size, but 3 to 6 ounces I think should be what we should be looking at. And if you are in a restaurant and they're serving a big portion, maybe split it with your partner.
That small sserving, even just talking about it frustrates me, but anyway, it's the right thing to do. Crystal, thank you very much.
That's right. Thanks so much for having me. Cheers.